Hey all, this is Xenoxis, and this is the Xenoxis show for the 21st of April 2023. Finally back with our vlog. Gonna start the song here so the microphone doesn't eventually go into the turn off mode. I'm listening to the RE4 theme for Mercenaries Wesker. Hopefully it's very very similar to this theme in like the remake and stuff that. I don't know though if you when you put it on the like the old classic music, right? I don't know if that changes the music in Mercenaries as well, if it's like the old theme then that plays and stuff that, but yeah. But anyway, there are quite a few things to talk about today, you know, of course. So recently I got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 because it was cheaper, or some other DLC were cheaper, and I got Ironheart, and I got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. So yeah, I had meant to, you know, get games in May and stuff that, you know, but I couldn't wait, you know, and stuff that, so yeah, and it was like on a specific sale and stuff that. I at first thought about getting the Mega Man game, the Mega Man Collection game, the Battle Network, which there is a ton of games in, and it's like Legacy Collection 1 and 2 basically, so there's two of them, two separate ones, you know, and stuff that, but yeah, and it's like quite expensive, but there's a lot of games. I think it's over 7 games, something like that, like it's an insane amount of games, you know, and yes, there are RPGs and stuff that, which is really really good and stuff that, so yeah. But we're gonna be talking about first about Xenoverse, because Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is an old game. 2016, I believe it is. It came out, so almost gonna be 10 years, or 10 years, 2026, so that's pretty crazy. The engine actually still holds up, even though there's no PS5 version of the game yet, and stuff that. Is there gonna be a 3 maybe, you know? Maybe, but they're still like adding DLC. Like the latest DLC was for the movie that was the tie-in for the super movie, the superhero movie, and stuff that. Now I haven't watched the that much from that series, specifically the Dragon Ball Superhero, which is basically after Dragon Ball Super is when it takes place, kinda, you know, and stuff that. So yeah. Now the thing that is cool, of course, in Xenoverse is yes, you create your character. But there aren't that many options, but it seems like some of the DLC actually adds more hairstyles, maybe, you know, and stuff that, yeah. The thing is though, is imagine like once it reaches that wrestling game, I will actually need to look that up, because I know that it's called differently in PAL, or it looks different in the PAL version, the cover, you know, because I had it on PS2, SmackDown, Pain. Okay, like, yeah, here comes the Pain. That's the one. With the Brock Lesnar on the cover. Oh yeah, there's the PAL one there. There's the PAL one. The PAL one actually looks better. Both have like Brock Lesnar and stuff that, so yeah. Yeah, there it is. Here comes the Pain. Oh. And then the back there, yeah. That's the one I had. That's probably one of my favorite. Yeah, the Xenoverse can pull each other's pants off. But yeah, it was really really good. SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, because the character editor in that was really good. Imagine right if it even reached similar to the customization of like old wrestling games and stuff that. Of course, I also had like the SmackDown vs. Raw 2017, I believe I had. Or maybe it was an earlier edition. Because I noticed like certain ones, I know I had one on 360, which I think there was the 2007. I know I had the one with The Undertaker on the cover there, the 2018, but that I had on PS3, I believe. And I had the one on the 360, is it 2007? Okay. SmackDown vs. Raw, SmackDown vs. Raw 2017 Xbox 360. Yeah, there's the one I had. I think I even have it outside here if I can actually go and get it, actually. I'm pretty certain I have it out here, actually, because I have some 360 games out here. here we go. This is the game, man. This was also good. I think this was my second of the wrestling games. Yeah, there's the SmackDown as well. There's the disc. I got no scratches on it. Yeah, the instruction manual was actually pretty thick on this one, actually. Yeah, 2007 was pretty good as well. Whoa, that came loose, actually. That's a bit weird. Yeah, it has the licensing and everything, you know, stuff that, yeah. 2007. And yeah, that's SmackDown. It comes to me. And I probably have it where I have the PC games and stuff. I probably still have it somewhere, you know, stuff that's it. If I could still get my old Xbox working, actually, I mean, I would love to this to be like in a bigger house and stuff that, you know, so I could have like more games or game systems plugged in. Because I mean, I still got a lot of the old Xbox games. I don't know if I still have the Jet Set Radio one though. It's there because I definitely wanted to be a collection with both like Jet Set Radio Future and Jet Grind Radio. It's a Radio Future, of course, I 100% or got over 100% basically like unlocking every character. Like you have to get like all the graffitis done, of course. You have to get all of the silver thing, the one that looks like the main character kinda, or like the symbol for game. Of course, get all the tags, like the different tags, because you can customize the tags you use for like the different sizes. That like the small, there's like medium, and then like the really large ones and stuff that. And then there are of course characters that you can unlock, and certain characters require you to do very specific things to unlock. You know, like there's a lot of stuff to unlock in that game, you know, and stuff that. And it was really cool. Sometimes it could be frustrating though, because certain characters are way harder than others to like unlock and stuff that, you know, and it's like it was a really fantastic game, you know, and stuff that, you know, absolutely brilliant game. So yeah, how long for the download? Oh, only 6 minutes now. That's actually pretty good. So yeah, so anyway, since it was, yeah, you create your character and stuff that. And I kind of wish that I figured out sooner that there is a guide that lets you like speed level kinda. The thing though that is cool is between each character your money is shared. So once you max out a character or get it to very high level and you can start doing the harder challenges, which gives more money, you can basically grind up to a shit ton of money and then you speed level the other characters and stuff that you must say, oh, that's just boring because that just makes the fights easy, you know, but yeah, but it's just, you know, there's lots of stuff to do in the game. So you can be human, aka Earthling, basically, pretty much. You can be human, or I think they're called Earthling in the game, or maybe they're just called human. You can be Cyan, of course. Now, I don't know if each race receives a different amount of stat points, because it made sense right in my mind that, oh, the Cyan, in the beginning, you don't get that many stat points early on, but then eventually you reach a point where you start receiving like 5, 6, or maybe 8 points per level or something like that. And then when you get high enough level, it starts slowing down again, and then you only receive like 3 points per level or whatever, you know. And that's supposed to be like like they start really slow, and then like they get a giant growth and stuff that. And I think that's how Saiyans grow, kinda. And maybe it's different for the different races, you know, and stuff that. And of course, we have the Frieza race, Namekian and Saurian as well. You have the Buu race, of course, the Mayan race, pretty much. I think that's it, right? Human, Saiyan, Frieza, Namekian, and the Mayan race. Yeah, I think that's it. Because sadly there's no android, so to speak, that you can. There's no android race, sadly. You know, you might say, oh, but they're just like human and stuff that, sure, but still, you know, like think that would be special. Also, when it comes to the voices of the character, like, I can always, you could hear the voices more well, or you actually had proper dialogue where you could listen to the voices, you know, because it's hard to tell if a voice is going to be good or not, you know, and stuff there. But yeah, but it is pretty interesting, you know, of course. Now, in terms of RE4, of course, in terms of RE4, when it comes to RE4, basically, the actual, when it comes to RE4, the remake, that is, I'm now on the island part. I could have already finished it a couple of days ago, but then I got busy playing the new games, you know, of course, instead of just finishing 4 and stuff like that. And I am at the last, like, shooting gallery and stuff like that, so I could do some of that, basically, and stuff like that, and try to get the things, but yeah. But it seems to me that you don't need to almost do any of the shooting gallery at all unless you're going for the platinum in the game. But it's kind of a bit frustrating, right? Like, what if you're, like, really bad at the whole aiming part, you know, or you're never gonna get the platinum then because of that. And it seems like, oh, the PC version players just have so much an easy time because you don't have, like, the shaky aim or the same kind of bullshit aim kind of on the PC. It doesn't feel like, you know, and stuff like that. But it's also, like, because normally you're meant to, like, wait a while before, like, the aiming comes in. But it seems like on the PC you can use aim and shoot, you know, and stuff like that. Now, there is a thing that you could activate that relies on the motion sensor on the controller. The question is, though, because it's not like a remote, like, it's not like a, you know, Wiimote type of the thing was the Wii version of RE4 was the easiest. You could anyone can easily beat Pro on the Wii version. On the Wii version, you can basically get the highest score immediately when you do shooting gallery in that. Because you basically point where you want to shoot, and there's no shaky aim whatsoever. So you just point where all the heads are. And you can even shoot the Salazar every single time, and it's just, like, impossible to fail with the remote. Of course, I think I used the sensor, so motion sensor plus or whatever it was. Actually, it's annoying, right? Because if you would have it this height, right? If you would have a sensor that height, you couldn't hold it like this. You would probably have to sit like this and play. That's the main problem with the, like, the V sensor bar and stuff that, you know, and why the motion controls was really annoying, you know, sometimes. But yeah. And I know, yes, you can use the whole thing with all snap-on and stuff that, but that doesn't work in like the in that mode, basically, and stuff that. Now, maybe it is that you just activate the motion sensor and then maybe you get, like, a mouse control-esque thing, you know, because when it's motion sensor, right, you cannot have the whole same thing, right? Because if you use the motion sensor, you can't have the whole thing with, oh, you have to aim here for a certain amount of seconds for it to focus in, right? Because it feels like if you're using motion sensor, then all of that goes to the window, you know, and stuff that. I can understand, right, like, if they could have, like the one with the light bulb, the PlayStation Move, right, it was called. Like, if you could have, like, a PS5 controller for that, like, with the Move, and then you could just use that when you were using, like, motion like, controls and stuff that. Because then I can get where that it's accurate, but it depends on where the sensor is. If the sensor is where this thing is, where the, like, the thing is, the touchpad, basically, if that's where the sensor is, then, like, it becomes pretty easy to aim, but it's still not the same as using a remote and stuff that, you know, that's quite a bit different. Anyway, I have a new favorite flavor of Monster, by the way. I should actually move that one downstairs because this one is a bit damaged here. I'm just gonna move this downstairs and the other one. You're gonna have to excuse me, I'm just gonna make it pretty short this time around, you know, and stuff that, you know. Because I'm not gonna mention that much because I wanna do, like, a later recording like once I finish RE4 and stuff that, so you can get my take on it and stuff that. But yeah, okay, it looks like that's done. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this was a bit short. And I know, but I wanted to mention a bit about RE4 Remake, because of course I did play it a lot when it came out, but then I didn't even get into the cast part because I spent a long time in the village trying to find as much as possible. But I managed to miss a treasure, and apparently it was that I missed one of the small keys, which is weird because I generally tend to loot everything. And I probably missed the one in the water area, maybe. That's the only place I could think, but then it should have shown up on the map, right? Like, it feels really odd, like I missed that key specifically, because it was the only one treasure I missed, and that was the locked one, of course. And stuff that it felt like really weird, like how could I miss this specific one, right? And stuff that. And maybe it was also that I could have, maybe when I had Ashley, maybe I could have just, you know, explored enough and just gone back and got it. I probably could have done that instead of advancing, you know, and stuff that. I would say though that it's not as good as the original, in my opinion, because there are certain specific like scenarios that are new, of course, or areas, but then you have like certain classical areas that is just completely missing, like the whole riding the gondola thing and stuff that, and shooting the ones. Because the funny thing with that is that if you had the rifle, basically you could go to a certain spot before you even go on the gondola, and then you can shoot down the ones that jump down if you buy the scope for it and stuff that. And that is really cool that you can shoot them down in advance like that. Makes that section a lot easier and stuff that. Like, there's a lot of like fun and stuff like that, you know, and stuff. But then it's just like the whole point of like, oh, let's have the big chief chase you, and that's chasing is so short. And it also feels like where, like when the cabin is, you know, and it splits down into two parts. One is where the Bella sisters are, and one is where the El Gigante is. There's obviously one place in the game that is supposed to be the El Gigante section where the El Gigante is and stuff there, because it kind of looks like that section and stuff that, but without an El Gigante for some reason. Of course, you do encounter the Bella sisters later on at a kind of similar place, but yeah, but it definitely feels like, in my opinion, that there needs to be more than just separate ways. We definitely probably like an assignment 8 as well, but maybe also a Louis section where you play as Louis through the game. So some sections, right? I definitely think also they need more charms, basically, because yes, the charms in the game are good, but one thing that is a big problem, right, is that certain accessories, of course, can do certain things, like chicken heads reduce damage a lot, the infinite ammo with the cat ears and stuff that. Now that's the costume, of course. There's no RPD costume, which is weird. There's no pop star costume for Ashley, which is weird, because camel toe, you know, and stuff that. And you know, the RPD costume for Leon worked as the Kevlar vest or the assault vest in RE4 original, but it does not do anything on Pro. Here, you know, like, it would be nice to have an alternative to the wearing the chicken hat and stuff that. That would be nice. And that's just like, because yes, you can say, oh, you looked silly in the original game. No, not really. The Mafia costume didn't look that silly. The people said that say, oh, Ashley's night costume is silly. There are fucking knights in the game. There are knights in the game. And Ashley even this time around like comments on like, hey Leon, shouldn't you be wearing the night costume? You know? It would be understandable, oh yeah, but then it would make sense for Leon to do his acrobatics if he was wearing a night costume. But hey, maybe like, okay, like, oh, Leon could get a night costume, you know, that would make him invincible. But then, you know, maybe make it so that he has slower movement. And that maybe he cannot, you know, do certain things. I would also love to see like Ashley in Mercenaries, but then, because here's the thing, for the people who say, oh, she would have no weapon. Yeah, maybe she would just have like kitchen knives and like the boot knife or whatever, you know, and stuff like that, like not like a combat knife and stuff like that. And maybe instead of flashbangs, she would have her phone whatever, and the phone has a certain amount of charges, and then you can pick up like batteries for it and stuff that, and then like flash bang with the camera. Because basically, if you could have like a like a camera, and you have a pretty strong like lightning, yeah, lightning is the flash when you take a photo and stuff that camera flash. It can be really strong, if you try to do it in someone's eyes and stuff that. So that would be pretty cool and stuff that. Maybe she would also have the light thing, the one that can stun like less progress and stuff that could also work. Otherwise, I think the stun rod from RE5 could work. Basically, have the stun rod and maybe have it be upgradable and stuff that. Because yeah, that makes sense. Because I mean, enemies in the original had the stun rod and stuff that, so makes sense. The stun rod was really scary though on pro difficulty in the original game, because the stun rod would just basically, if you weren't fully healed at certain points, you would basically get one shot by the stun rod. Even on normal difficulty, you could get by that, and stuff that. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it for this time. I'll see you all probably tomorrow, because I probably will finish the game today if I have time for it. Anyway, see you all next time.